glad that's over with. Just 15 practices into it in spring. We were pretty anxious to wrap things up. I think I just told the team that the next month is when college football student athletes need to get away from football a little bit and let their bodies heal, finish academics strong, go spend time with their family, and then be ready to go in June. So we'll be away from these guys for about 5 weeks, starting recruiting, and then we will reconvene in June and try to continue to get better. Got a long ways to go. A lot of good things happened this spring. A lot of things that we've recognized that we need to continue to get better at. We're a far cry from what I hope to be come September 1st when we actually start playing games. But overall, I was pleased with the amount of work that we got done, and I think we're going to be a pretty good football team when it's all said and done. So with that, take some questions.
What is the plan for Crest?
Keep playing ball. I mean, he's one of our better football players. Made the decision, this past week. And a lot of this is what spring football is all about, is to be able to experiment with some different people doing some different things. I think we would all agree that he's a pretty good football player, so we're going to continue to do things and figure out what he does best, whether that's receiver, running back, quarterback, punt returner, kick returner. He can do a lot of different things, so we'll continue to experiment with him.
Would you rather find a different spot for him than have him as a backup?
Well, if he's the backup quarterback, we need to do something to get the ball in his hands. So, he's going to continue. He's going to be in my meeting room. He's going to continue to take reps at quarterback. The one thing that and he was excited about this because he likes to play the game so much. When he's sitting on the sidelines, not taking the reps at quarterback, he'd rather be in there playing ball. That's going to get him a good opportunity to be able to see the game from a different perspective. And I can tell you it's already making him a better quarterback. So we'll continue to experiment with that.
Were you pleased with what you saw out of him today as far as his versatility?
Yeah. He catches the ball well. He's got great ball skills. He's still learning to run routes. There's a blocking aspect of the game that he's going to have to learn. It's still a work in progress, but again, he's one of our better football players, so we're going to continue to experiment with him, which is kind of fun. It's fun for me, to be able to do different things, but he makes things look easy. So we'll continue to do that.
Why line him up in the backfield as opposed to the slaughter split?
Just different formations. It's easier to get him the ball when he's standing right next to the quarterback. So we'll be able to do different things with him. And again, all that stuff's going to help him see the game in a different perspective. So we'll continue to experiment with that.
How long has his shoulder held up now that he's gone through all the spring and all the offseason?
He got fine. He's throwing the ball fine. He got yanked on down at the Greenbrier. He was in the pocket and he got yanked on it. It scared him for a minute, and it was sore on Monday. Didn't know if he was going to be able to throw on Tuesday, but he got in there and did fine. So holding up pretty good.
Last year, you played your offensive lineman over 90% of the time. Do you feel like this spring you've developed some depth that will allow you to shuttle guys in and out come the fall?
I do. I think we'll end up being deeper before it's all said and done. Who's going to be the best backups, I don't know. But having, we rep 12 guys. I can assure you all 12 of those guys are not going to be game ready. You need to find 8. Stone Underwood's going to be a good backup center, a good second team guy that I think we can win with. Grant Lingelfelter is going to be a good option at guard, and Russell Houghton James, when we get Yodney back that can play left tackle, Russell will be able to be a swing guy at tackle too. So if those 8 right now, if we're going to war with those 8, I feel good about it.
Got to see a lot of Thomas Williams and Jackie. What did you learn about those guys this spring, and particularly today, where they were the guys?
I think they're going to be good players. They both have 4 years of eligibility. So 2 good young backs, putting them in that situation in front of some people in some live situations, I thought they did well. They both got to focus hard on ball security. So does William. Both Jackie and William put it on the ground, and all 3 of them have probably put the ball on the ground more than the more veteran guys have been. Obviously, Wendell can do a lot of good things for us. Russell Shell can do a lot of good things for us. Having those guys as options is going to be pretty cool.
Are you going to use window more in the slot with more in the backfield, or have you figured out what you're planning on doing with him?
Just having the versatility to be able to do both is important. He can do so many different things. He's without a doubt our most dynamic guy right now. He's had a great spring. He's probably our fastest player, maybe our best running back. So being able to do different things is where this offense is going.
And even with some couple of the defensive players out, it seems like they have the upper hand again today. Does that worry you any for your offensive continuity, or do you still kind of expect that given the experience?
If it wasn't like that right now, we'd be in trouble because they have a lot of experience. I can't give Tony Gibson as much credit. He deserves all the credit for where we're at. Getting us in a place defensively has been something that we've obviously focused on around here for 3-4 years. We got great defensive continuity with our coaching staff. We have 15, 16 guys that have started games. We're developing a lot of depth on that side of the ball. They're confident. They know what they're doing, and things are clicking pretty good right there. So, as an offensive guy and a play caller, it's frustrating at times, but it's a frustration that is that makes me sleep pretty good at night. So, I like where they're at. And offensively, we're going to continue to get better and better. Our goal lining up against these guys is just to continue to get better and better. We got to get a lot better offensively from a continuity perspective than we do defensively at this point.
Who do you expect Skylar, in terms of getting better and better, to be sharper as time goes on?
Yeah, and he's probably the hardest worker we got on this football team. So he's gonna continue to get better. He does a great job of taking care of the ball. He does a great job of putting the ball in play. He needs to be probably a little bit more consistent with his throws. But from an operations perspective, him getting on the same page with the guys around him is only going to get better and better. He missed a couple of throws to Nikhil, and he missed a couple of throws to Shelton, and a lot of that stuff's timing. That the more that they play together, the better that's going to be.
Dan, it seems like you have your outside receivers. What do you think, not just today, but all spring, about being able to pass the ball downfield and stretch your defenses?
We were more successful throwing the ball downfield this spring than we were last spring. And last spring we had Kevin White and Mario Alford on the outside. That doesn't concern me. We're going to be able to get the ball downfield, and we hit Jordan downfield a good bit as well. Didn't today, but we have throughout the course of spring. So Skylar getting the ball downfield is the least of my worries. Just the continuity and getting them on the same page, timing wise, is what's got to happen all summer.
You may not have been real happy with Larry Jefferson today, but for the spring overall, does he give you that pass rush?
Well, what makes you think that? Because I yelled at him?
Yeah.
It's not the first time I've yelled at him. He's frustrating to go against because his motor just runs and runs and runs. I gave him a big hug after the game and said, I can't wait to watch you do that to opposing quarterbacks. Would you please quit doing it to ours? I anticipate Larry to have a bunch of sacks next year. I really do. He's going to continue to get better and better. He plays with a great motor, and he's going to keep getting better and better.
Would you be content going into the season with stable running backs instead of one guy that emerges as dominant?
But yeah, it'll play itself out. There's only one ball, right? So we can't hand that thing to two different guys. But having a bunch of bodies there, because you need depth at that spot. So whoever the main guy is going to be the main guy. I think Wendell and Shell are going to fight for the ball. They're going to want the ball a lot. And then they got to hold off two young guys. So that competition is going to be good to watch all summer and watch in camp. There's going to be a time where we need them all. I think everybody saw that last year, and the better the better those guys are as option 4 and option 5, the better this football team is going to be.
Do you feel like that's at this point still kind of an open competition?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
have a hierarchy?
There isn't much on this team that's not an open competition. We got some pretty good second team guys. I like our senior linebackers, but they better watch number 53 behind them. because Xavier Preston might be our best defensive football player at this point in time. So there's competition everywhere. You know, every position we got, you know, those second team guys are going to be fighting for reps.
Is that more so than years past?
Oh yeah, there's over 50 some guys. I think it's 55 if I'm not mistaken that have played games here. So you know those guys want snaps, they want reps, and you know there's one way to get it. You know, Dante thinks he's our best running back right now. So I said go out there and prove it. If you are, you're the one that's going to start. So that competition should exist on every good football team.
You had 2 freshmen enroll early at quarterback. Tell us about how those 2 have progressed in their first spring practice.
Yeah, they did some good things out there today. They did some really bad things out there today. I mean, we repped 5 different quarterbacks today. I mean, it's tough to get into a rhythm when you're repping that many. But because of the spring game, I wanted them all to get some snaps. They've both improved, and a lot of it's not what you just see. I mean, as far as what kind of throws they make or what kind of runs they make, you know, there's a communication thing that's got to exist. You know, what we're trying to get accomplished is, you know, where the ball needs to go, where their eyes need to be, you know, all that stuff. They got valuable reps today. They're going to keep getting better. You know, both of them have a bright future.
Dana, KJ on punts?
Look good, didn't he?
Yeah, where did that come from?
He just lined up and started catching punts, and I said, "Wow, that looks pretty good." So I put him back there. That as it's been very well documented because of y'all, is a complete nightmare for me. We need a guy with some confidence back there, and right now there's the 2 most confident guys we have on our football team right now are KJ Dillon and William Crest. So those guys caught a bunch today, and they will continue to work it all summer.
Did KJ volunteer, or was he
Yeah.
recruited?
He did. Now, I recruited him to be a kick returner because he's tough and he's fast. So he went back there, and he looked great as a kick returner. And so then he just started catching punts. Same thing William Crest did. He goes, "You want me to catch some punts?" I said, "Yeah," and I saw him do it. It looked good. The confidence has got to be there in order to be a good punt returner. I played golf with Pac-Man yesterday, and we all know that he's an All-American, All-Pro punt returner. Well, that dude's got more confidence than anybody in the world. So, you know, great punt returners need to have that confidence, and both those kids got it.
Dana, Justin Park won our Nicholas Award this year. Why the selection, and what are the things that really made him stand out as a walk-on?
Same reason I put him on scholarship yesterday too. He does all the right things on the field. Smart football player, tough football player. Does all the right things in the classroom. You know, is a great student. Does all the right things off the field as a person. He's from the state. Means a lot to him, and he's going to make a lot of plays for us here for the next 2 years.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Who won the golf match?
Not me. Now, I will say this, Pac-Man's not as good as he claims he is. Tony Gibson beat us. Tony's I think, been playing too much golf because him and Alex beat the heck out of me and Pac-Man.